This Could Get Dicey is a D&D podcast about dudes being bros. What adventures will they get into? Only time will tell. Like the name suggests, this podcast could get dicey. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello, and welcome to This Could Get Dicey, a D&D podcast where a group of buds get to unwind from their 9-to-5s and step into the world of Drew Gala. My name is Destiny Nieto, I play Loomis Bjorn, and before things get a little too dicey, I'd just like to say it's a beautiful day to start a new project.
Woo!
Ooh.
Woo indeed.
What is it? Oh, are we guessing?
Big, small, micro, macro.
Like a poster board project? Like for a
Yeah,
third
I'm
grade
entering
class?
into a science fair, so I needed to make a poster board about what my experiment was. I am crocheting a pillow.
Ooh.
A whole pillow.
A whole
Out of
pillow.
yarn?
Like the
What?
case of it? And
Yeah,
you
I
put
guess like the
stuffing
case of
inside?
it, and then I'm going to
Cool.
stuff it just with like an insert. And this is my first one not going off of a pattern, so I'm kind of just
All right.
winging it.
It's kind of, I love that.
Nice.
You're gonna invent a new shape.
No, it's a standard square pillow.
How,
But maybe
have you made
eventually.
a pillow? Is this your first pillow ever?
It is my first pillow that I've ever owned.
Are you going like throw pillow sized or like California
Yeah,
King?
like a little bit bigger than a throw pillow. The purpose of it is to cuddle it while watching TV. So a good
okay.
snuggly pillow.
A good safety pillow.
Safety pillow indeed.
Yes.
Love a safety pillow. I only have regular sleeping pillows and I have like 3 extremely small pillows they're just throw pillows. And I'm like, why are you here?
I can't stand throw pillows actually, and we have so many in my house. I don't like any.
I
of
feel
them.
like you'd like them more if you had bigger ones, Kenny, because you guys have pretty small ones.
Oh yeah.
Because I have big ones. I have big throw pillows on my couch, and they're good safety pillows, but they're throw pillows.
I've always wanted one of those like long huggers.
You don't have
You know,
like a
for
body
sure.
pillow?
A body pillow.
Yeah, body pillow. They're not called long huggers.
Well,
Well, there are
also
some.
There are some. The loop, like
The maternity ones, like you kind of like go around your whole body.
Those look so comfortable.
They've also turned them into not maternity ones too, and they're just like
Anyone can use these.
anyone. Can
Anybody could use this
Yeah.
pillow. Sounds great. Hi, my name is Alex Villarreal. I play Ellis Vindove, and it's a beautiful day to go for a swim.
Ooh.
All right.
So it begins.
It was a little cloud cover and chilly today.
Yeah.
But I jumped in that cold water and swam. And then swam back and got out, and I was like, all right, we're back. And then I left. I did not spend too long. It's crazy how, in Barton Springs, for our non-Austin residents, like, if it's a cloudy day, that is the coldest place you could ever be.
It's
in your entire life.
always 68, right? Isn't that the
Yeah.
constant temperature?
And I really messed up not going when it was cold, because I've heard that, just because of fucking thermodynamics and shit, like if it's colder outside, that it's a warm pool.
Yeah.
It's like, it is warm, and you get in and you're like, I mean you have to get out and you're like, I'm gonna die, but it's like a little jacuzzi in the wintertime.
It's weird that you're swimming right now. It's like just now March.
They just opened back up finally for the season. They've been closed for like a month. And I think they opened on Saturday a month ago, listener. And we went in, man.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, I want to go take a splash now. Hello, my name is Kenny Chilton, and I'm playing Emil Mazak. And it's a beautiful day to make a little mistake and then immediately laugh at yourself.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
24/7, baby.
I'm like, right now, I'm on spring break. And so, like, I've been able to slow down after some very long work weeks. In another week, like, if I made the same mistake a week ago, I'd be like, oh, come on, get it together. You're wasting time. But right now, it's just funny. I was making myself a little drink for the show just now, and I opened the can of ginger ale, and I accidentally poured it into my wife's cup of water instead of to my drink. So, let's chill. It's all good.
It's a little funny brain farts like that. I agree. When they happen to me when I'm at work, I want to commit a crime.
Absolutely.
But sometimes when you reach for your cup of water and you accidentally like grab like a bottle of like condiment that happens to be on your, and you're just like, what am I doing? I'm silly.
I would be upset if I drank ketchup instead of water, but yeah.
Hello. My name is Becky Schmader, and I'm the game master for This Could Get Dicey, and it's a beautiful day to mulch your garden.
Mulch.
That's crazy.
Mulch.
I just bought a bunch of mulch too, Becky.
Like today?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just at your house yesterday. I didn't see
No,
the
like
mulch.
today, right now.
Wow. First of all, it's so affordable if you just get like cedar mulch.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah.
cheap. Secondly, it makes a world of difference on, like, you hear always like, oh, if you mulch the plants, you won't have to water as much, blah, blah. It's like, you really don't have to water if you mulch. Not at all, but.
What is mulch? I mean, nobody knows.
What?
Nobody knows what it is.
No,
It's a
labeled.
mystery.
I don't know what it
It's
is.
a big it's
It's
a big mystery.
well, it
of
depends, because if it's hardwood mulch, then it's like tree. It's like chips.
Mm.
Yes, I guess my thing with mulch is how long have they been making it? and I know that's like a dumb question, but like I look at a bag of mulch because like mulch is like partially decomposed already, like tree.
Yeah, it's
right?
just natural. You can make mulch out of like bags of leaves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't necessarily have to be decomposing already, because like straw can be mulch. Like people use straw a lot in
Pecan
gardens.
shells.
as long as it's all small pieces.
Yeah, enough to like retain moisture.
Yeah, I feel like mulch, the definition of mulch is like something to put on top of dirt to help plants retain moisture and stop weeds.
Are you like asking how long have they been like putting it into a package and selling it to people when people can just make it themselves? Is that kind of what you're asking?
No. I look at a bag of mulch and I go like, is that like almost like wine? Like you look at a bottle of wine, you're like, how long have I been working on that bottle of wine? Is it like a year? Is it like a year old?
It's
Is
pretty.
it 6 months old?
I'm pretty sure it's like pretty recent because it can't be like super dead.
Yeah, it's not like decomposing really. Cause I mean, you can take like partially decomposed compost and like that can be mulch. But like, I went to the store and bought cedar mulch. They took a cedar tree and ran it through a shredder, put it in a bag, and that was probably like a month ago tops.
It's very simple. Mulch do about nothing. Am I right?
Dude, fucking, I hear you. Mulch it's always very soft. Like I always like I don't know.
It's
I just find
It is not always
This
soft.
one, hardwood mulch is not. Cedar mulch is not fun to touch or breathe in.
or huff.
I have a story about mulch. Back in middle school and high school, I think I was in middle school. My sister was in high school. There was this very large pile. Destiny, you might not know about this. Might have known about this as well. There is a giant pile of mulch in the Helotes area, which is where I went to high school. Helotes, Texas. Shout out. And it's, I mean, giant, like multi-car size. I mean, like, I don't even know, like 20 feet high, hundreds of like football field size pile of mulch that someone thought would be fun to set on fire.
Hell yeah.
It's a
Burn it
giant
all
pile
down.
of mulch, so it burned for like weeks, and we called it mulchy affectionately. And for the schools that were like near it, they couldn't go to school because they couldn't go like out of the classrooms because like the smoke from it was so bad.
For weeks?
For like at least like 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
So shout out to Mulchi.
I was gonna ask if y'all worshipped it like an effigy, and it seems like someone tried to.
I think someone probably tried to. Yeah, I mean they set it on fire as like a prank, I guess. I don't know who's like, oh, there's a giant pile of wood there, let's set it on fire. On top of the fact that like you should never have a pile of like decomposing stuff that's that big.
Sounds really irresponsible.
It's also just generating heat itself, so
They used to lay playgrounds with mulch, and they stopped because they're like, we shouldn't let kids play on something that can erupt into flames. And then they traded it out for caliche, like little pebbles, and fuck those pebbles. I hate pebbles.
fuck them pebbles. Are y'all ready for some Dungeons and Dragons?
Woohoo!
Popping.
Okay. Last we left off, our adventurers were sparring with a Wendigo that they had happened upon in an unknown location on the northern part of the continent of Iceruin. As the fight was getting dire, a knight stormed into the fray to join the adventurers' side and helped in defeating the Wendigo. The knight introduced themselves as Helena, a champion of Siluria, the goddess of nature's abundance. You asked her questions and found out that she perhaps has been on Drugala for a few centuries, yet without much memory of it. The evening ended with Helena pondering into the night while the Squirrel's Foolies got their rest. It is now the next morning. You all are rising, and Helena has gathered wood for a fire and some supplies for breakfast. The day is yours.
So, Helena, how far more of a walk do you reckon it'll take before we get out of these woods into civilization?
From what I can guess, I assume that Ursa Anore must be at least a couple days' trek still from here.
Okay, well, cool. I know you said yesterday that it's just you out here. I doubt there's any like ye old 7-Elevens or ye old Motel 6s or...
Not from my eyes, no, but I'm sure there's small communities or the creatures they gather, you know, so I'm sure there's something else out here perhaps, but not that I know of. I would be happy to come along with you all on your journey.
Yes, please. Somebody who knows the woods and is also confident would be very good right now.
I am confident, of course, yes.
I think we need some confidence right now. We've had a rough couple days.
You were like so confident that it made me feel very safe sleeping here last night. Wait, it's morning, right?
It is morning, yes, and I'm glad I could make you feel safe.
Very cool. You don't have any friends or family though?
No. I mean, the creatures and the possum, I spoke to Mr. Possum last night, and you remember the squirrels and that whole thing. You know, I chit-chat with them, and there's foxes that run about. I chat with them as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, creatures capable of more sophisticated reciprocity of feelings. You know, like, Loomis and I and Ellis and I, we are friends, and we can, you know, travel together and things like that. You don't have another person around?
Emil, they're probably all dead. She's been alive for like as long as Loomis has. Look how sad Loomis is all the time. It's because Loomis's friends are dead.
Yeah, at what age did you turn from Loomis sad to like the confident and outgoing being you are now?
I don't think I've ever been sad like this one.
Okay, so it's not an age thing. Okay.
That's crazy. Dog, that's crazy. I'm like 28 years old and I'm sad all the time.
Perhaps you need to ditch your friends here and learn to become friends with the creatures of the woods.
Hey, I smell an Ellis spinoff. Everybody loves it. It's just Ellis in the Woods.
Write it down. Yeah. I had, I'm sure, friends, acquaintances, families long ago, but you know, I've been here in the woods, made friends with creatures of the woods. There's many smart creatures here, and the squirrels are not stupid.
I didn't say stupid. I didn't say that.
Good. They're not. There's also mushroom folk. You know, we spoke about mushroom folk, and
that's right.
They're quite sophisticated compared to humanoids, or not humanoids, but persons like us, I suppose.
We saw a bunch of them get evicted one time, so yeah.
You did not stop the eviction from happening.
Oh, we did. We super did. We like super did.
That is
There was a giant like golem troll thingy. Man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, we're kind of getting
and
back to our roots here in the woods. It's kind of cool.
And we fucking
very
killed
clever
it.
joke. The roots here. Yes.
Oh,
surrounding
yes.
us.
Completely intentional.
Yes.
I can't remember if this was just with Loomis or if this was all of us, where she said something about knowing the war that was mentioned in the book that Loomis has.
I think that was just with Loomis, like after y'all.
Okay,
got
I thought
the-
Yeah.
Okay.
As she kind of talks like she can't. I know Loomis and her had a conversation last night, but when she talks about the past, she kind of talks about it like she can't remember it.
Mhm.
Like, is that the vibe, or like, am I sensing that it's like, oh, you're just so old, you've been around for so long, and you've been in these woods doing this for so long that like this is just all you remember, or like, or is it like she doesn't remember?
Roll insight check.
Ooh, natural 19 plus 3, 22.
You're pretty together that she's not remembering. There's like she's kind of like being vague and dancing. You're like, oh, I'm sure I had family and stuff like that. But you're putting together that she doesn't really remember whether she had family or not, and she doesn't really remember like how long she's been in these woods and stuff.
Well, I'm not about to try to crack that walnut this morning. That's very deep. I say to myself out loud as I'm staring straight at her.
You found some
Would
walnuts?
you like a walnut?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love. Oh, what a good
She
nut.
just crushes the walnut in her hand and hands it to you.
So, would you mind like kind of like leading the way?
Absolutely. I will defend this troop through the woods, rooting out evil along the way.
Hell yeah.
Helena, Helena? Lady Helena? What do you like to be
Helena's
called?
fine, yes.
Helena, is there a safer route to take? Like, it's okay if we don't take the most direct route, if it means we don't have to fight anything like we did yesterday.
Well, no. There's no paths northward, really. I haven't been to Ursa Anore in a long time, or if ever, perhaps. But I know the general direction of where it is. But also know that there are no paths, really. No true paths. If you all were smaller, there would be tons of paths in the forest. Another benefit to my friends.
Okay.
You seem unhappy with this response, Emil.
I don't really like to fight anything.
Oh.
I know you love the woods and everything. I'd really like to just stay human and not become a tree, so...
Well, we will do our best to avoid any sort of conflict along the way.
Great.
Yeah, let's use our people skills.
There's no
and
people out here.
That's why we have the advantage.
There are
We're the
clever
people.
creatures out here who do understand us, Emil. I don't understand why you have this bias towards these creatures.
I kind of nudge Helena and I give her one of these like thumb points and I go, "City slickers, am I right?"
And that's what I'm talking about. We will get to learn the woods together some more today, Emil. I mean, I know these woods. You will learn about these woods. Loomis, are you a forest dweller? Do you like the woods?
Yes, that's how I eat sometimes.
What? Tell me more, about that.
I don't think you're gonna like it.
Please, tell me.
So I don't really need to consume normal food, I guess. Hence why I didn't have your bounty yesterday.
Of course.
But how I do consume is by touching grass.
Oh, well, this seems perfectly acceptable too. You're simply absorbing Siloria's blessings in a different way. Is that how you would perhaps describe it?
Yeah, you can describe it like that. However, the grass I touch around me dies.
It's like he's making mulch. That's what he's doing. He's mulching.
Yeah, it's going to come back like a controlled bird. It's going to come back
Yeah.
stronger than ever, right, Loomis?
Sometimes that is necessary, sure, to find balance within life and within nature. So,
Yeah, balance
Do
or
you-
whatever.
Do you enjoy doing that?
I mean, it's how it keeps me alive, so I guess to a point. I keep doing it. If I didn't enjoy it, I guess I'd be dead.
Okay.
More dead.
This is complex, and I wish to to quit talking about it. I don't think we should
Excellent.
talk about it anymore.
I wish to quit talking as well.
Excellent. Emil, you will learn much about the woods today.
I can't wait to figure out what kind of commodities and assets exist out here.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean by commodities and assets?
Maybe we can start walking as we talk about this. I'll point some things out.
We start. You all start walking through the woods, and I think Helena is like running up to the tree. Look at this tree, Emil. Is this not a mighty maple tree here in the woods?
Like 65 canes at least I could sell out of that tree. Yeah.
Are you implying you would chop down this tree, Emil?
I wouldn't actually do any of the chopping. That's not really my thing. I just kind of peddle it to
Do
the
you
next
do
person.
hard work, Emil?
It's very hard. It's extremely difficult. Ask them. They helped me. I point.
It wasn't that hard.
Yeah,
I sold a pair of boots like super fast.
they were kind of really good at it. I had to work a lot harder than they did to get.
Sounds
to
like
get
we
good.
need to
A
harden you
9-year-old
up.
could do it.
Yeah, a 9-year-old does do it actually at my business.
Interesting. I think she like smacks you on the back, like maybe a little too forcefully. And look at this plant that is gathering on the ground as it creeps up through the trees, becoming a mighty vine, providing homes for little bugs, insects, birds up in the trees.
Organic rope. That's pretty cool.
Okay, you can have that one because you're right. That is helpful to have.
How do you do like bartering and have you been wearing those clothes like this whole time? Like,
Yes.
cool.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I know.
I take them off. I clean them in the rivers. I do some tatting.
Can I look at what she's wearing as like someone who's good at eyeing things? These are all like custom made pieces, like made from natural materials here in the woods.
No, she's wearing like plate armor. She's wearing like solid green plate armor with a golden tree branch on the chest. I mean, underneath it, there's like linen, like gambeson arming, padding and stuff underneath it.
Can I try to appraise it?
Yeah, go ahead, roll a perception check.
This is why I took a proficiency in perception. Is this exact reason? 23.
Yeah, this is like it's definitely aged. You having seen probably tons of different like armors throughout the city and stuff. Like you can tell this is like an older style of armor. It has decorative fluting and etching and stuff that you haven't seen for like, or whenever you have seen it, it's been on like pieces of armor that are like centuries old sort of thing. And it's in pretty good shape, but there's definitely like some like dings and some rust points and some like deterioration. But I mean, this is like super expensive, like top of the line plate armor.
Okay, cool.
Becky, just as a clarification, last time when we first met her, we kind of discovered she's fae, right? Like that's kind of
there's
type
like a
of
fae essence to her, yeah.
As we're moving along in the woods and then just kind of reflecting back on our conversation last night and then just her current conversation with Emil about knowing all the things, I guess I just want to double check. She's not a vampire-esque type person, especially just going back to, granted, putting two and two together that the Lost Era was like 900 years ago. Yeah, you're going to forget things. But I think Loomis just has a feeling of just like, hey, there's a part of my life that I just completely forgot. Just kind of getting a sense there.
Yeah, go ahead, roll insight with advantage since you're looking for vampirism.
That will be a 15.
I think you could confidently say that she's not a vampire. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like she's been like reborn. I think it's almost like getting like lost in the woods and sort of like becoming one with the woods, sort of something like that.
Gotcha.
As we're walking, I'll say like, Helena, if you take the front, I'll stand guard in the rear. Loomis, do you want to join me for a second?
Not really, but I guess I will.
Thank you for your constant enthusiasm. So yeah, look at her armor. She's like super old. She's been, I think she's been out here for a long time.
Yeah, I think she's the oldest being I've ever encountered before, and I've met some pretty old beings.
Maybe she has some information about kind of this bigger storyline going on around us that we're not super involved in, but keeps coming up. She might know something if she's, that old about whatever war happened, or I don't know, anything we're searching for.
Oh yeah, she doesn't really remember. She was part of it. She doesn't remember it.
But maybe we can jog her memory. I mean, there's got to be a way to knock some things loose. It feels like a waste. We're going to be traveling with her for 2 days, not to try and mine this for any information we can. I mean, we're inner circle, court of outlaws, Like, I feel like we got to do something.
Do you know a way to jog one's memory?
No, playing on the heartstrings is always an idea. We could try and get her to think about family or something, but she really doesn't remember. I don't have any, magical means. Maybe Ellis does.
Where is Ellis right now?
Y'all went to the back. I imagine Ellis is just by himself in the middle, just in the being ooh.
I think at some point Helena grabs you, Ellis, and is like, "Now look here at these mushrooms that grow up the tree. These are sometimes called chicken of the woods because they taste like chicken." Here, she grabs some of it. I guess tasting like chicken, perhaps not, but the texture, taste it.
It's very flaky like a chicken nugget, but it tastes like dirt. Incredible.
Isn't it so? Dirt is wonderful. Do you like things like beets, radishes, turnips, carrots?
Alice likes it all. You give me any sort of food that you can consume and put it inside your body, I love it. A root vegetable? Are you kidding me?
You are most grateful for the Lady Siloria's abundance.
Oh, absolutely. Siloria been good to me over the years. You have any sort of, vegetation I can get my hands on, I'm like a little bunny rabbit. I'm chomping down on that shit.
Very good. Very good.
While I have you here, and I slowly put the chicken mushroom on the ground. I'm pretty, compared to you, I'm pretty new on the scene vis-a-vis living and being alive.
And yet you have wisdom beyond your years, knowing to appreciate food when put before you.
Hey, that's what my mama taught me. You always say thank you. You always eat finish your plate, even if it's bad. But I wanted to. I know we just met, and I don't want to pry too much. But do you? Not to doubt your whole steez here. I'm actually super fucking inspired by your sort of lifelong quest of solitude. I think that and I don't mean that in an insult. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think kind of dedicating yourself to the land and kind of being alone for so long, it's super respectable. It feels like a job that I don't think many people would want to take up.
Sure. Well, first of all, I once again really want to emphasize I'm not alone. I am once again surrounded by many forest folk and critters and creatures, and we chat and gab and gossip. So, but sure, solitude. Sure, there is some of that. But yes, I know I did some pondering last night. Spoke with the possum. He kept watch with me, and then I did some pondering, praying to Siloria, and asked her about my memories and my sort of time on Drugala, and she mentioned that I was part of a war long ago, and that I was a dutiful champion for her and have continued to be so. And since that war, I believe I've been out here doing her service, I suppose, and rooting the evil out of the forest. Specifically, I've been targeting those who are followers of service, which seems to be more prevalent these days. The Black Stag. Do you know this?
The Black Stag? No, tell me more. In my head, I'm like, oh, is that the Noxus?
No.
That's not a Noxus. The Noxus is not the Black Stag.
No, he's a bird. A stag is like a deer, yeah, so.
Yes, but I just hear like dark evil creature,
Right.
and I'm like, that's not my guy, right? No, what's the Black Stag? Tell me more.
Service, the Black Stag. He is sort of the counterpart to Siloria in the pantheon. He finds that nature can be a source of great power, which I don't disagree with. Siloria has granted me many powers through nature, as you could have seen yesterday with my shield and grappling ability with vines. But
Yes.
Service believes that nature should overtake again, and perhaps without balance, and perhaps with great power and potential destruction. And so, followers of Service, I wish to root out because I believe that they will do unbalance to Siloria's bounty.
Do you think that? Just forgive my ignorance, but was that like Wendigo, like a follower of the Black Stag?
He could have
Do you
been.
think?
It's definitely possible that he might have been some sort of creature created by a follower of Service, or had been created due to tainted lands and such like that. But certainly an evil spirit within these woods, so...
Can you expand more on the name, a follower of Service? Because on the surface level, that sounds like good. Like, you know, a follower of, like, servitude. Like obviously the way you've explained it sounds bad, but...
Sure. Well, the name is spelled differently. Cervus, Service. Service the Black Stag. So if you're a follower of...
Oh,
I thought you've been
okay.
saying cervix
Oh.
this whole time. That's great.
Oh, hey, let's get to it.
Okay.
Service is the name of the Black Stag.
Yes, correct.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes. So if you're a follower of Service, you're often devout to sometimes druids, evil druids. I would consider them evil druids. Would be followers of Service, gaining power of and control over nature in order to do wrong, in my opinion, and to unbalance us.
Well, that sounds like a very worthy quest.
To root them out, yes. Thank you.
Yes. Do you ever get, like, you mentioned, you asked Siloria about your memories. Do you want to know your It almost seems like you can't remember.
I've just been in the woods for so long, I don't know how one could keep memories for that long. If Siloria is telling me this was a very old war, then perhaps it's best to be left in the past.
Hey, you know, sometimes things are meant to live and let die, and again, you have a pretty cool setup. I mean, I think it's you'll have to forgive me and my compatriots. We don't lead the type of life that you do. And I think just meeting somebody, you know, when we first met Loomis, and Loomis told us that Loomis didn't like to eat or sleep or anything, you wouldn't believe how many times Emil asked Loomis if wanted to eat or whatever, and Loomis would be like, "No, I don't." So I think it just catches us a little by surprise that I think it's because like people like us are kind of caught up in, you know, the city life, you know, taverns and, you know, stuff, consumerism. You know, I've been trying to become more of a minimalist, so like you're really inspiring me right now. I think it just took us by surprise, but you seem pretty stoked to be here, so hey, good for you.
Yes, you must learn about Siloria's bounties out here, and the goodness and joy and fruitfulness that can be found out here. I don't want for anything.
Damn. Respect. You ever heard of Noxus?
No, that does not ring any bells in my head.
Cool. Sweet. Just some guy I met.
Roll a
anyway.
deception check.
Honestly, Ella's trying to deceive Helena is probably the one thing that I'm like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
I can lie to you. And I do. 25.
Okay, she's like, all right, just a guy.
And then I probably like, what's this berry on the ground? Can I eat that? I think I do that a lot. I'm like, can I eat that?
Absolutely, you can eat that.
All right. And I'm like, I pick some berries and I'm like, I'm gonna go pass these back to my friends really quick.
Okay.
And I slowly backpedal towards them with like a handful of berries. I'm like, y'all want a berry? They're not as good as Emil's little body berries.
Emil May snacks is what they're called.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna say that.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah, Helena's really cool, y'all. Helena's like really grounded and pretty inspiring.
We were just talking about how she might have some, information from us. She's the oldest person we've ever met. She might know some more if we can kind of unlock what's buried in there, her memories.
Yeah, I just kind of asked her about it. And she told me she's fighting this dude named Service the Black Stag, or just like followers of Service the Black Stag. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of him, but he's kind of like the opposite of Celoria. And like Celoria is like, you know, the coolest. And I'm a big fan now. Like I asked her if she like wanted to remember anything, and she kind of seems like she doesn't. Like, and maybe, like, I don't know, as somebody, I will just say, as somebody who's currently being, like, influenced by, like, quasi-demonic, demonic, sure, or, like, divine entity, you know, sometimes it's best to just be like, I don't want to know.
She might not know what she's missing out on. Who knows what she's missing, but also she may not want to, but it might be very helpful for us if we're trying to commit to something greater than what we're currently doing later on. She might have something very valuable. Do you have anything that could, like, I don't know, can you, like, read minds or something?
Oh, God, no. I can try to charm her, but she's already, like,
she's very
pretty willing.
She's very charming already. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and she's also like willing to pretty much tell us. I think that's the thing that's like, one, what are we trying to get out of this lady? Like obviously like information about like the past 100 billion years or whatever, which is like cool, but two, like I don't know, like it almost feels like wrong. Like, I don't know. There's something about her that feels like I've just never met anybody like her before. She's just like so kind of just like content, and the thought of us swooping in here and just being like, let's unravel your brain, like, and then we're like, all right, bye. We're gonna like leave these woods forever and never come back. Like, I don't know. That sounds kind of icky, but I mean, I totally get it. Like, I do think that this big war that nobody remembers or has any books or anything about except for Loomis, like it's playing in something here, and maybe organically we can figure something out, but I don't know.
I agree. Digging around in her head or trying to root up something that may be best sealed away, it feels kind of icky. What if I just show her some of the stuff from like our first foray into the woods? You know, the plant. I took drawings of everything that we gave over to Danielle. I could just show her some of the plant matter we dealt with. We could show her like the weird plant that was powering the robots. I don't know anything. She could be a trove of information.
I think that's like a good idea, because who knows if that scary plant like ends up in these woods, like it would be good for her to be like, oh yes, like somebody has showed me this before. I need to burn it with fire. But something's, I guess, like, and maybe it's my own like fear and anxieties about the thing. This like fucking war that took place a million years ago that nobody remembers, like, I think like it must have been really bad. It must have been terrible if Siloria, the god of fucking plants, which are everywhere, like, look around, took their, like, strongest soldier, like, their strongest champion, and plopped them in the woods and was just like, protect this shit, and, like, assumedly, like, wiped all of their memories of the past. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like once we unlock the key of the knowledge of what this war is, like, that's a door where there ain't no coming back from.
That's an excellent point. Becky, are we in the Patchwork Forest, or are we, like, north of that?
You're north of that a little bit.
It just feels so random for someone so powerful to be here. I don't know. I don't believe in fate at all. But it kind of feels like we was meant to be a little bit.
I mean, Loomis, you do have that book. Like, maybe tonight at the campfire, letting her, like, peruse it to see if it jogs anything up?
Yeah, maybe. I showed it to her, but I mean, she can ponder over it with the possums.
I'll show her some of my drawings and notes from our first expedition when we collected that weird plant and the hole in the ground talked to us.
Oh, yeah.
I guess let's just... I mean, if y'all want to trade spots with me and chat with her, she made me eat a bunch of raw mushrooms, which, I mean, hey, I learned a lot. And I was happy to do it, but
I'm good.
My mouth is very dry.
Let's wait till we're in a safe spot camping. Maybe we should just be on our guard right now. I do pick a fresh May snack for both of you and give it to you.
I'll hold on
Thank
to that. Dun break. Welcome to the ad break, y'all. We're back again, episode 45. Thank you so much for being here. It means so much to us that you've been sticking with us through this story. We hope you're having a great time. We hope you're having as great of a time as this new reviewer on Apple Podcasts from Kyle B. Chillin. Fun storytelling mixed with intriguing plot. It's been an easy listen while doing chores such as dishes, mowing the lawn, and rearing my children. Thanks, Kyle. We appreciate it. If you'd like to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or click, some sort of 1 through 5 star based rating on whatever podcast app you are using, we would really, really appreciate. You can also check out our website for fun stuff, www.tcgdpod.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok under the same handle at tcgpod for funny videos and all sorts of stuff. See our faces, cool D&D stuff. But yeah, thanks for listening. Really appreciate you being here, and let's hop on back in.
As Emil says we should keep an eye out, everyone roll a perception check.
19.
7.
17.
You all are walking through the woods. I think Helena is still going off look at this tree and this mushroom and these berries and look at this little weed that's growing up. And Emil and Ellis, you all see ahead of you all a small community, trees with the centers of the trunks sort of hollowed out, and there's little windows embedded into them and flickering lights on the inside. There's dancing lights on the outside of the homes, and the tallest doorways seemingly to be 2 or 3 feet in height, not much taller. There's pathways connecting them all, some in the trees above you, some as dirt paths underneath your feet. And you all hear a little horn from the trees above you and a voice. Halt!
Hey, y'all, I think we should halt.
I halt.
Why?
Because something in the woods just told us to halt.
We gotta stop. Stop. Everyone stop.
Everyone stops. You all look up into the trees and you see a slightly larger than normal red squirrel with really high tufted ears. Looking down at you with slingshot.
Cute.
Let's go.
And you see that there's other creatures sort of in the trees as well. All of them with slingshots and little bows and arrows drawn. You have entered into the community of Oak Pines. You are not welcome here, outsider. State your business.
Oak Pines. This better not be villains, Becky, or shit's gonna get ugly.
Helena, Who have you? What are we? Who are these people?
Well, I'm sure they are friends. So she takes out her sword. I'm sure they are friends. Watch this. She kneels. Friends of Oak Pines, I am Helena, champion of Siloria. And the little red squirrel in the tree. That is fine. Who are your friends?
I kneel down as well. I'm just gonna kneel down. I am Emil Venzor. Hi.
I am Ellis Vindove of Honeyguard. And I bow.
Loomis just stands there.
Get that one on its knees, please.
Ellis, be cool.
one's a little
I mean,
creepy.
Loomis, be cool. It's not our house.
And
Their hands
All right,
are like
Loomis.
quivering. They're like, please.
And I look up at Loomis. Loomis, kill those squirrels. Kill all the squirrels right now.
No. I don't think you know who you're talking
Helena
to.
like looks back at you. Absolutely.
Okay.
No.
Loomis, you're about to get a face full of toothpicks. Please, just kneel down.
Does Loomis still not kneel?
no.
We're fire! And they just send down little like pebbles and twigs down at Loomis. You take 3 points of damage.
Can I use my deflect missiles to
Yes.
dodge
Yes,
it
you
all?
can.
Okay.
You just flick them out of the way. State your business in our woods.
We don't mean you any harm. People of, what is it? Oak what?
Oak Pines.
Okay.
It's really
two
easy.
different
It's just
kinds
two
of trees.
trees.
Okay,
Just two
Oak
tree
Pines.
names.
All right. Okay. Citizens of Oak Pines, we mean you no harm. I stand up and put my hands up. We are just seeking passage through the woods to Ursa Anore. No, that's it. Nothing else.
Make a perception check as you mention Ursa Anore.
15 total.
Very good. You should come meet with our elders if you are to be going to Ursa Anore.
Why?
They draw their strings. Stop asking questions!
No. It's cool. Helena, is this cool? Can we go into this town? Are we going
I
to crush
believe
someone?
these creatures are simply frightened at Loomis not kneeling. We are much taller in stature than any of them here, so I'm sure it's very daunting. But I believe we shall be fine if we were to meet with their elders.
All right, is there anything we should know to not offend anybody or step on them?
Well, definitely don't step on them. Yes, don't do that. And know that your presence is intimidating to anyone who's below 3 feet, simply because you are above 3 feet. So
Okay.
we have much bigger numbers than you all.
We come in peace, and we will gladly speak to your elders. I'd look at them. I'm like, just an old squirrel? You think? It's like a really old one.
We've dealt with much worse than this. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone do like a group charisma check to see how if you're selling the group here.
Uh-oh.
Carry us, Ellis.
I'm gonna do a luck check.
Oh my god.
Look. This is just flat charisma?
Yes.
That's better. 17.
Okay, Helena got a 13.
11.
3. I got a 3.
Okay. I think together you all are doing okay. I think Helena gets up, sheathes her sword. We mean you no harm, creatures, and we would like to meet with your elders. And the squirrels and different creatures kind of scurry down from the tree. Like a big raccoon comes out from behind a tree with like a halberd to kind of push you all forward.
Is he kind of
He's
fat?
a little fat. He's a little
fat, okay.
You all make your way through the town, and the red squirrel kind of leading the procession next to Helena. Everyone, we have guests to our community. To the town square, please. And people start filing out of the trees and out of these little like holes in the ground and kind of following these pathways until you get to a central area of this community. It's a fairly large clearing amongst the trees with a little fire going in the middle and a ring of chairs along the outside of the clearing. As you all gather into this area, you see that the chairs are slowly being filled with different members of the community. There's about 12 chairs in total. The rest of the community sits near the fire in various spaces in the clearing or on the outside of the ring of chairs. A silence falls upon the community as they settle in. One of the chairs is taken by the tufted-eared red squirrel who had guided you all in. One of the chairs is filled by a fairy. A few of them are filled by myconids or mushroom people. Some are mice. There's a raccoon. There's a varying of ages and backgrounds and species here that are taking these seats. And the red squirrel appears to kind of be the military leader of this, the head of the military within this community. But there's a very kind and gentle-looking myconid who looks like a baker of sorts. And there's a young mouse that sits at attention holding a small quill and a notebook. There's an older little garlic man who speaks up. There's white roots growing from his face and growing downwards into a beard. Hello, visitors to Oak Pines. I am Elder Swanvi. We welcome you to our community, but must ask how you happened upon Oak Pines. We are quite far from the nearest town or settlement of your kind.
So we kind of showed up here by total accident. We were trying to use magic to teleport to Ursa Anore, and it teleported us into the middle of these woods, which we've never been to before. Total outsiders, total strangers. And we happened to run into our new friend, Helena, here. Have you heard of Helena? She's like a big deal in these woods.
We have seen Helena before in the woods. Well, she did not see us. We are observant but quiet sometimes, so we've seen her in the woods before. And Helena kind of nods her head. I am honored to have been seen by you, little creatures.
As I said, super awesome. But yeah, that's we didn't mean to we were not trying to come here. I guess we just kind of walked here and y'all were here. Sorry if we threw things off. Y'all have a great little system set up here. Super cute. I like to imagine that where they stopped us and then they're like, all right, let's go to the town square. For us it was 7 steps. Yeah. We were just in the town square.
10 feet tops probably, right? So they get over there.
You have a great thing going here. Super impressive. We definitely don't want to be a burden to y'all.
I have called you, the red squirrel speaks up. I have called you to our community and our elders because you mentioned that you all are going to Ursa Anore, which you again just mentioned just moments ago. We know of Ursa Anore, and it is still a few days away from here, and many of our community have come from there. I can't advise you to go there. I'm unsure what sort of welcome you might receive.
Oh, do tell. What's going on in Ursa Anore that made members of the community come here?
A little lemming speaks up. They have cream-colored fur with black streaks down their back. Felix is right that you might not receive the welcome that you hoped for. Many of us left Ursa Anore and found comfort here. Many stayed in Ursa Anore. Many like you. And she points at you, Emil. This one has the affliction that many in Ursa Anore have. You are of Dries blood, and you're seeking answers, no?
That's exactly what's happening here. You read the situation perfectly, my lemming friend. Tell me everything, please. I pat myself down, and then I pull 2 berries off myself. Say, I have an offering for you, and I just reach over to wherever they're sitting and drop 2 berries in front of the elder.
The lemming grabs it and eats it. Delicious. This is very delicious. You will certainly find answers there, but I still must caution you to be very careful. Followers of service are rampant there. And at the mention of service, you see that Helena kind of stiffens. What do you mean followers of service are rampant there? Tell me more of this place. And the lemming speaks up again. Ursa Anore has always been a haven, away from the typical norms of society and cities. It has been a place focused on community and helping one another. There have always been followers of service there, but they grew in number, and their ways become more embedded in Ursa Anore. We had always been welcoming of all religions, but many of us are devoted followers of Siloria, which naturally puts us at odds with followers of service. Avoiding conflict, we decided to leave, but many of us, well, a lot of people had to stay in Ursa Anore despite these odds because of Driesblood.
What do you mean? Why do Driesblood have to stay?
I do not know fully, as I do not have the affliction and was not always around those with the affliction, but many people found comfort in the cold air of the north to help not rid themselves of the disease or the mutation, but instead get it into a dormant state in which they had more control over it.
Did you meet anyone who maybe looks like me a little bit? I don't know. I'm looking for someone who I might know.
I'm afraid I have not seen anyone who looks like you, but there are a lot of people up there still, so you might find what you're looking for.
Quick question. Sorry to jump in here, and I'm sorry if this question is problematic, but you all are tiny forest creatures. We are big humanoid people. When you're talking about like people, do you mean people? You mean people like us, right?
Oh, there's quite a spread of people in Ursa Anore. Yes, people of your stature, and bipedal nature and lack of fur and all that. And
are there like forest creatures like you that are followers of service?
one of the Myconids speaks up across from you all. Oh yes, we've seen many in our communities in the forest gravitate towards service. Myconids, those with Driesblood, fairies, fauns. Service promises power within nature, the ability for nature to take back what has been lost. It is appealing to many, but not us here.
Okay, all right. Well, so we're kind of we're kind of like a group. We're kind of like a little team, little LLC. We're called the Foolies. Squirrels. I look at Felix. Squirrels, Foolies. Hey.
I like the name, yes. Good name.
That's what I'm talking about. See. So we try to do. I look at Abiel Loomis. Good in the world, right? Yeah. So we're going to Ursa Anore pretty much no matter what. We're trying to squash this problem y'all got, maybe? I don't know.
The original little garlic man speaks up. Oh, we don't see it as a problem necessarily, although I suppose Lady Helena here would see it as a problem, but we're peaceful folk. If the people of followers of service want to live up there, they can do that. We are quite happy here in Oak Pines, and that is fine.
But you mentioned that people left Ursa Anore. Did they leave out of fear of their own safety? Were followers of service hurting people, or is it sort of oh, you're a follower of Siloria, I gotta kill your ass, or is it just I don't like your fucking vibes, I'm going to live in the woods?
A little of both. We certainly did not. Many of us did not necessarily, face any sort of violence, but there was definitely an odds of vibes, and Ursa Anore was turning more and more towards followers of service moving to Ursa Anore, and we thought before this gets dicey, we could just leave. So that's what many of us did.
Is it? So it's not going to be dangerous for us to go necessarily, just to walk into town.
The lemming speaks up. Oh, you are most welcome to go to Ursa Anore, and everyone is always welcome there, but just be warned of what I fear you might not get a warm welcome, but I don't think you will be immediately shown hostility, especially if you have Drees blood and show that to them.
Is there somebody there who's like in charge of all the Drees blood, or kind of like head Drees blood in charge?
I'm sure we've been gone for a few years, but I mean, there's quite a few people with Drees blood up there. Easily 10, 20, 30.
Any of them that you trust?
Yes, very much so. We trust Gustav Flint with our lives.
Why?
He is a Drees blood, and many Drees blood do turn to follow service, but he sort of is the de facto leader of non-service members in the community, and he has to stay because of Drees blood. So, but he, helped us have a peaceful exit from the community.
Okay, we'll send him your regards if we find him.
Absolutely. Oh yes, my name is Arnica, and this is Gimno over there, pointing at the mushroom guy. Felix, the red squirrel, and we just call him Elder.
Suavica,
Pointing
right?
at the garlic guy.
Did you say your
Swanvi.
Swanvi or something?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
sorry. Our memories are all... No, I'm just kidding. Everyone's memories here in the woods.
Elder Swanvi, how long have you been here in Oak Pines?
Oh, I've been here for a long time. Easily 70 years, I think. I actually wasn't a member of Ursa Anore. I've always been in these woods here.
It's a wonderful little place. Is there anything else, any of you, I look at everybody sitting around us, I want to make Ursa Anore, sure, I look at Alice, sure, we can help. We can turn it back to what it once was in case anyone wants to go back, or, for the people who are there. Is there anything you can tell us about the city itself? Structure, businesses, anything. What is it like?
Arnica, the little lemming, speaks up again. Well, it's a very community-driven city or town. It's not very big. The barter system is definitely what people run on. Gold doesn't mean much up there.
Oh, God.
It's very community-driven. There's a long house in the middle of town that people go to eat at every night and to hang out and tell stories by the fires there. So very community-driven, which was part of the reason that we found ourselves a little at odds. Hard to be community with people who have vastly different beliefs in our gods.
Okay. And how long has Ursa Anore been around?
Centuries.
Does it have anything, do any of you have any memory or information about the war that took place here all those years ago?
Elder Svanvi speaks up. Oh, I was told by my I wasn't told. My great-grandparent told me about his great-grandparent, who told me a story from his great-grandparent. We don't live there. I live max at 90 years or something in that.
Oh, no. Okay.
And he told his great-grand... anyways, the long lineage. There was a war here long ago, yes. That was at odds with... Siloria was there, and Lumixen, and Themiska was also there, and they had champions, much like you, Lady Helena, who fought in the war to beat back a terrible god who had brought forth a vicious army.
To what end? Do you know?
Well, that is where the story gets a little fuzzy, but I remember that the story goes that the Great War happened and cleared out much of the lands here, and that then the champions of that war were then set forth across Icerune to then rebuild and help bring back what was lost.
What time of day is it? By the time we've,
it's
like,
probably
reached this?
it's like evening now, so it is getting to be like dusk.
Well, Elder Swanby, I want to thank you for your hospitality, not shooting Loomis here with any more toothpicks. Could we potentially like crash here for the evening?
You are most welcome here in Oak Pines. Unfortunately, our homes are too small, so you guys can sleep out here by the campfire.
Oh, for sure. No, yeah, for sure. We would.
You could put like a foot in the house.
You don't need to do that.
Okay.
I turn to Helena and I say, "Hey, I don't know if you know what these are," and I pull out my bag that I have of magic beans. And I'm like, "I have these magic beans. Would it be like, I don't know what they do, but I think good stuff happens. Should I like plant one as a gift for them?"
I think that would be most welcome, Alice, for you to do that.
All right. I turn to them. I go, "Y'all mind if I plant a magic bean? I think something good will happen for y'all."
We love beans, yeah! Woo! The whole community's like, yeah, we love beans! Let me get time for a bean check, everybody.
Bean check. I know there's 6 different colors. I just pull one out at random because I do not know what they do.
Okay, roll a d6 then.
2.
Okay, you pull out a yellow bean. Now roll another d6.
3.
Okay, roll one more d6.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna kill all these creatures. Another 3.
Another 3. You put the bean. You dig a little hole, put the bean in the ground, cover it with dirt, water it, and from it comes like a beautiful like vine that starts to grow and bend in a tiny little thread. A vine kind of trickles down to the other side of it, and some twigs kind of spurt from the ground as well, and you've made a longbow and some arrows appear. Wow! Wow! Oh, it's magic!
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I didn't know what this would do, and as I'm holding this longbow and I'm looking at all of them, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep this one.
A long range defense system. It takes 3 of them to arm it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, could y'all use this longbow? It's like
they
it's
hold
like
up their
triple
longbows,
size.
which are like, I don't know, like 6 inches tall, and this is like longbows are like 5 feet long.
Very tall. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Well, as I pick the longbow and the arrows off of it, I'm like, remember that this tree was planted in the name of the squirrels, Foolies. I look at Loomis. I'm like, can you use a longbow?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I can use simple weapons and short swords.
Yeah, I think this is a martial weapon, I believe.
What about Helena? Do you want a longbow?
I would be most honored to bear this gift from Siloria.
I mean, hey, come on. Plant a tree, a weapon comes out. That's like all you.
That's all me, yes. Well, not me. That is all Lady Siloria's.
You're right.
Well, what's to
Glory
stop?
be.
Hold on,
Glory
just
be.
to play devil's advocate. What's to stop that from being service? Because isn't service all about like power through nature as well?
You see her like
Don't
grip her
fucking-
sword like
what?
real. Why would you
Don't
think
do
that
this.
he's...
I'm not saying it is. I just want to learn. I want to learn more before we go to Ursa Anore because apparently service is going to be a pretty big deal there.
And I will slaughter all of them.
Well, no, hold on. Well, wait a second. We got to find out more.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Lady Helena, does this mean you're going to leave the forest and come with us into Ursa Anore?
If this is the root of the evil that which I've been hunting, then I will leave the woods.
Whoa.
Big deal, yes.
And I turn to my friends and I whisper, I'm like, maybe when she leaves the woods, she'll remember.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, same.
Helena, the reason we're going to Ursa Anore is because I think one of my parents might be there. And it's like the best lead we have. And to hear that there's other Dreesblood there, and that, y'all, there's something to slow this down, at least it's the first sign I've gotten of anything positive. I've been wondering this entire time how possibly someone afflicted by Dreesblood 40 years ago would still be alive and not be entirely bark. It's giving me a lot of hope that whoever, mom or dad, might be there, have some answers for me. And that's why we can't just kill everyone, Helena. Even if one of my parents ends up being a follower of service, I need answers.
Roll a persuasion check.
Uh-oh. A 34. No, I'm just kidding. 30-20.
Very well, Emil. I will hold my blade. But if they look at me wrong, I will slaughter them. But I will do this for you. I will wait until we know more.
Thank you. You've been of such great service to us and incredibly understanding of our plight. Again, just I don't know what we'd do without you. We'd be dead probably in the woods back with the Wendigo.
This is true.
Y'all, I look at Loomis and Alice. This is big. This is what we came here for.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Just fucking
look, y'all.
Whatever.
I don't care. I drop my voice to a whisper. I don't care about this whole conflict between these two gods. I could care less.
They honestly sound like the same god to me.
I can't figure it out either. They both sound like they just love nature, and one likes it a little more intensely than the other, I guess. I don't know.
My thing is that we still don't have like a proper connection as to like what the fuck happening now like mattered then, right? So like Emil, like, who knows? Like, maybe Dreesblood played a big role in this war. Like, we are like babies, period. And there is so much information that we have I don't know shit about Nanoxus. I don't know shit about Siloria. I thought you thought Service was cervix 5 minutes ago. I think basically all I'm saying is I think right now every new piece of information we get, we kind of have to care about it. We kind of have to care about Service and Siloria and this feud because it might matter to the bigger picture. So
I am going to care to the extent that it does not interfere with me getting back to my family, not sick.
Yes, Emil, but remember, none of that matters if some big fucking god shows up and blows up the planet. Then you won't have a family, and I won't have any more mustard, and Loomis won't have any more mulch to make. So, that in big picture wise, we have to care because your kids have got to grow up in a world where there's not a big scary god who we don't know who they are yet.
That I hate how much that makes sense. Damn it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep it in mind.
I mean, obviously, short term. Like we're all short term in this. Like obviously, let's figure out let's find your mom. Let's find your dad. I don't know. Let's figure out if we can potentially fix you. But let's just not narrow our scope so quickly. It's only episode 45.
I can fix it. Okay. Okay. This is a pretty cool little community that we found. Loomis, aren't you glad that we came in and that they didn't try and kill us?
I'm pretty sure we could have taken all of them.
You know, sometimes, Loomis, I like to pride myself in my ability to sweet talk people and persuade people. And boy howdy, sometimes you provide a nice challenge. I begin to think that maybe I've had it too easy. And I need somebody like you to make it difficult.
As you all are kind of having this discussion here in the middle, the community had sort of dissipated and gone back to their homes, and now you see them all coming back with like big platters of food, and they're kind of setting up everyone in a circle to eat, and you all sit down for a feast with the Oak Pines community.
I'm super hungry still. These little hors d'oeuvres were not enough for me.
I was gonna say they bring out, and to us it's just like tapas,
Yeah.
and they're like a feast, and we're like, we're gonna have to pick up Whataburger or something on the way home.
But as you all are eating this food, it seems to be giving you, topless or not, small plates or not, it seems to be giving you quite a bit of sustenance, enough that you level up.
Oh, let's go!
Shit. Loomis doesn't eat it though. Can I still
I think
level
it's
up?
fine.
Sorry, Loomis.
But
Okay.
as you're eating,
No.
the platters are like all around you all, and that fat raccoon from earlier is sitting next to you and like points at the food and is like, "You gonna eat it? Like, you gonna eat it?" And you don't seem to notice anything. It gets its little hands and goes and grabs your food and starts chomping
Oh,
on
so
it.
cute.
And then he levels up to level 20 and then crushes you all.
He like
Just
pushes
kidding.
up his belly fat and it's just like
Damn.
pecs.
Yeah. But yeah, you all level up to level 7, right?
All right. Yes.
Hell yeah.
And
What are you going
that's
to do?
and that's where we'll end tonight.
Okay, right on.
Hot damn.
This
Lucky levels?
didn't get dicey.
No, not this time. Lucky level 7. It's been a long road to get here, but we're getting stronger, y'all. Squirrels, Foolies are moving up. Thanks for sticking around. We've loved having you. We've loved playing this game with you as our audience. Follow us on all of our social media at TCGD Pod. Check out the website and join us for our next episode, Wednesday, April 17th. Bye.